Paul continues, he says, "For what have I to do with judging outsiders? Is it not those inside the church whom you are to judge?" People get all uptight once you start talking about judging. You ain't supposed to judge, man. Jesus said you ain't supposed to judge. First off, Paul's not contradicting Jesus, okay? He actually compliments Jesus quite a bit if you pay attention to it, if you actually really know what Jesus said. So Jesus told us very clearly. He says to judge as you would want to be judged. For the measure that you use is the measure that he will use with you. He tells us not to be a hypocrite. He says if you're going to judge, to first remove the beam from your own eye before you go after the speck in your brother's eye. So when we talk about this, we see Paul tells us very clearly that it's our job to judge inside the church. Amen. Jesus is making it clear how to judge, to do it with a gentleness. When you go after a speck in someone's eye, that's what you do it with a gentleness, with caution, with care, with patience. You certainly don't want my sausage fingers trying to get something out of your eye. I'll tell you that right now. We'll poke it out. But he's made it clear how we're to do this. And this could very well be why topics like this don't really get preached from the pulpit, because maybe the beam's in that guy's eye. I don't know. But Jesus makes it clear how to do it. So Paul's telling us this. Jesus lays out to us how we're to handle this judging thing too. That when someone sins against you, it's Matthew 18, when someone sins against you, and if they're doing sins against the church, that's a sin against you, in my mind, that as a pastor, I'm to approach that person one-on-one and gently, hey, brother so-and-so, right? I just seen what was going on here, and I just want to know this is what the scriptures say, and God doesn't really like it that we do that. So maybe you don't know. I just want to make sure that you understand that this is just what God expects of us. And then if he returns the following week and the same thing's going on, that's when you gather up another brother and you go and tell him the same thing. Say, look, it isn't just me that's interpreting it this way. No, my brother right here interprets it the same way. They show up on week 3, and the same thing's going on. That's when we do what Paul tells us to do. You'll see here in a minute with the word of purge, the evil person from among us. They show up on week 3 doing the same thing. That's when you find the guy in my position having to do the awkward thing, which is call you out in it in front of everyone. It's not something that I would ever want to do, and I'm certain it's not something that any of you would want to be on the other end of that. So this is the process that we're supposed to do. And Paul makes it very clear again that it's not the outsiders that we're to judge. So, outside in the world, the people of the world. So if you think that you're going to go down to some sort of festival with a megahorn and start screaming at people and stuff like that down there, that's not what your job is. That's not what your call is. We're to be the light. We're to be the salt. We're not to go down there and play judge. That's not our job. He'll do that. And don't worry, he's doing that. Okay? You got to see it. You guys remember, it was a couple years ago, the Olympics in France, and they blasphemed the Holy Supper. And what happened? Huge power outage. Yeah. And to show that it wasn't a coincidence, the church is the only thing that's lit up on the hill, right? Yeah. God made his point. He made it clear. He said, I'll handle this. He said, I'll handle this. So we let God handle that stuff. 1 Corinthians 5:13 says, God judges those outside. And we're to purge the evil person from among us. We're called to do this. We're not to allow this to go on in the church.